What's up, y'all? My name is Hamasa, and welcome back to Prison Architect. Welcome back, y'all. So we have ourselves an almost ready to go, functioning, basic starter prison. I've got my holding cell, a shower, canteen, kitchen, a yard. We've got the basic amenities. They got places to, use the potty. They've got some places to shower, eat, go work out. But what I need, well, they have an area to work out. They just don't have any workout equipment yet. So what I need to do basically right now is start filling up the area with the specifics that they need. See, right here is going to be another staff room for my kitchen workers. So we'll plop in the necessary items here. A wide sofa and a drink machine. Cool. And the yard, this is going to be a workout yard. Basically, that's all I want them to do in their free time is to work out. It helps with the health. And we'll get into that when we get people in here, but our prison grading, as you can see, no prisoners have been released. I need 10 before they get the grading, but they are graded on a basic set of standards: health, security, reform, that kind of thing. And one of the measures of health is that A, they are not addicted to anything. That docks you real quick. And then B, that they spend some time working out. Now, a lot of prisoners won't work out. They would much rather just sit on a bench. But, well, you know what? I'll throw a phone booth in. No, I'm going to put the phone booth in the yard in case anybody wants to call home. Most people would just rather sit on a bench and not do much of anything, which, they're in prison. They probably don't want to have to work out, if they don't have to, but I prefer them to. It's healthier for them to be working out, so we're going to give them the option. So they can either sit on a bench or work out. We might even get rid of the bench. We'll see how it goes. So I've also sealed off this area with fencing so that hopefully nobody will try to or be able to just make an escape for it. And let's throw in some more foundations here. Or do I really want to do that? This is going to be my delivery and garbage area. So we'll say garbage. Get rid of this garbage. And deliveries, we'll get rid of you, and we'll move those to here. And then this one's going to be exports, but we don't have any exports yet, so I'm really not, I'm not concerned with exports yet. We could put in some cells today. Not gonna yet. First, I'm gonna work out a few more items. So we have this holding cell here. It's not going to stay a holding cell. It's actually going to become a reception. But in order to get our grant done, we had to build a holding cell, so I built it. And we're going to go ahead and move on from there and work on our next couple grants. So the first one would be security procedure. And we need to hire a security chief, patrols, unlock patrols, and assign 3 of our 10, going to be 10 guards, I only have 5 now, 2 patrol routes. So we can get started on that with unlocking our security. I'm also going to unlock a bank loan with my lovely accountant here, just in case we run short on money again. We can take out a loan. It's going to be fairly high interest the first time, but we'll be able to pay it back. So I'm not too overly concerned. I'd also like to toss in another table and bench here. Let's see, table, bench, lovely. So they'll come into the reception area, which is right now a holding cell, they're going to be moved from there and into their cell block. And so from the cell block, you know what, I don't want you planned like that. From the cell block, they're going to be heading upwards. They can go to the canteen, up in here. They have the yard. They also have the shower down here. This over here is going to be another a security room, and then an office for my security guards, or a staff room so people can come rest and workers can come rest over here. This will end up becoming my death row, but at the beginning it's just going to be used like my regular cell block. For the first few prisoners, we're going to have into the future, and here is going to be my electric chair room, execution. We're going to have parole, a death row only parole, that way we can actually have parole, and we're going to have our visitors center. We might change this might become execution, you know, visitors, whatever, but that's basically the only rooms that I need for them. We also are going to have a solitary confinement right in here, and this is going to be my protective custody. So my protective custody guys will basically be able to live in here unobstructed and eat here and have a yard here, and I might let them wander out into the main area because this is going to be my minimum security block. We got about roughly 40 cells. I'm going to put a dorm or a holding cell here, probably a holding cell. We'll see how it goes. They might not really need one. Usually minimum security guys don't act up too much. They can be a bit of a pain in the butt because a lot of them will be quick or snitches, and then I have to, you know, either move them down or just really keep a close watch on them. And their basic functions are going to be all in here, and then the big yard is going to be shared. So actually, yeah, if there's any snitches, I'm going to have to move them because they can't be shared with my medium security block. The medium security guys will stab, maim, kill, attempt to kill. Hopefully they're not too successful. Any of my protected custody guys. So we have an overlap here of minimum and protected, and I have an overlap here of minimum and medium. This way there can be a flow of contraband, which you'd think you wouldn't want in the prison. You want to stop the flow of contraband, but to keep things kind of interesting, I would like to be able to flow contraband throughout the prison. Now, when it comes to what's going to be the maximum and supermax guys, down here in the land expansion when I get it, I want to have some sort of interaction with my medium and the max guys, and then the max and supermax will interact, but I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to pull that off. I think what I'm going to do is build like a big chapel and say we can have chapel time together for those guys, so that they, you know, I don't want them to have yard time together because they'll fight, and medium security guys will end up dead. And I have eat time and yard time are just there's going to be too many of them to really, if there's a fight that breaks out, I'm going to have to like bring in the armed guards and shotguns, and people are going to die, and I don't really want to do that per se. I shouldn't have kept auto lights on. That's fine. That's fine for the first couple blocks. I really don't want to do that. I want to try and reform these guys as best as I can and parole them out, or just release them if they've served their time. I don't want a lot of dead prisoners. I also don't want too many escapees. That's why you see this. This is going to be the perimeter fence. It's probably not going to extend quite as much into this area here in the bottom, because I'm going to be expanding, but just for now I wanted to kind of create visually this is what it's going to be. And then we've got some room here. I might put another fence around the outside, but I want a little bit of room in between so I can put in like sniper towers, or if there is an escape attempt, possibly if I have somebody over there they can give chase, especially before I get the big fence up. They can give chase and maybe stop the guys, or, you know, well, we'll see if that's effective at all. I don't know that it will be. This tree we can dismantle. But let's crack on in this episode and we'll get in our cells, our basic cell block here. We'll get in our basic solitary block. I'm going to change this away from a holding cell. Or should I do that quite yet? Maybe I'll keep this as a holding cell for now. And then tomorrow we'll get in our first set of prisoners. So let's start with some brick wall action here. I'm going to lay all of these right down. Now, this section is housing for, I believe I have 15 cells. So we can take in, start taking in 8 at a time as far as the prisoners go. And then from there, since we have, we'll keep the holding cell for now. We can actually keep them coming in, and then the overflow will just sit in the holding cell until I can work out my next cell block. But the 15 prisoners will give me my cell block A grant and another 20 G's in the bank. Looks like I can hire my security chief now. Oh no, 42 more minutes. So we'll set the ground for that. It's going to be another office space. Let's say office. He can be right next to the warden. And we need a few objects in here. Oh, not a wide sofa. A desk. Where does the chair go? It goes in front of the books. Okay. That's kind of wrong on the wardens, but I'm not going to let that bother me. I got that, and then a filing cabinet there. So this is going to be the warden's office. We'll have him up and running soon. Travel's going to be a little slow at first. Can I control my regime yet? I can. And we'll probably change a regime as these guys are coming in. Yeah, like I said, travel's going to be a little slow at first because we're just walking across the grass. Maybe I'll put in like paving stones I would have here. I'll just keep it consistent. Yeah. Go down. Like a so. Yeah, that's good enough for now. We'll more or less use that path. And then we can wall these up. With the solitary confinement, we have a solitary door. Oh, this one I'm working away. We do have a solitary door for $500, and it's a really hard door to break. But it's not necessary. When they're in solitary, they're actually locked up. So you can just put a regular door there. You know, just a regular old door. And that suits what you need for solitaire just fine. And this, I could make this, yeah. What I'll do is I'll make that a solitary, and I'll put in another wall here. So then we can just toss in a regular door, and these are going to be my solitary rooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will make this hallway shared. Oh, or will I? I don't know. I think if I make this protective custody only, then I won't be able to lock up my other bad guys. You know, misbehaving prisoners in there. I'm not for certain if I will or not. We'll have to see. But the rest of these are going to be cells. So now that they finished that, I can throw in my cell rooms and start doing the thing. So I have cell doors on each of these. Cell doors. We're going to need a toilet and a bed. The toilet, I like to give them some privacy and put it behind the wall. Because, you know, obviously, even though you're in prison, you should get a little bit of privacy when you have to wee. And the beds, for the beds, what I'm going to do is put those, do I have my bed? Head facing away from the pisser, but in front of the door so I can do like a head count. Like, it just really doesn't happen like that, but just for like RP sake, I guess, I like to have the beds here so that I can see them. we just have the basic cells, and all of these toilets are going to need water. So what we can do is we can run like a show, and since we put them all in the same spot, we know where they're gonna go, and I can just run my water grid right to them. Boom, boom. Perfect. We also are going to need a water boiler to give them hot water. Now, it also gives them heat if I throw in a radiator, which I will do, but I think the temperature is fine. 62 degrees Fahrenheit. They really don't need any water, hot water per se. I mean, they're gonna be taking cold showers, so I should put. And they don't need heat. Well, words. Let me start over with that sentence. They really don't need radiators for heat in the cell blocks per se during the first couple of weeks, because it's like the spring summer months. Even in the fall, most of the days are going to be warm enough. It's just when it snows and wintry, it gets cold in the cell blocks, and I will need radiators. So I can get heat via the water boiler, but the water boiler also pumps out heat itself. As to say, the water boiler will create warmth, and also the radiators will radiate warmth. So if I put a water boiler like in a cell, it's going to be so hot in that cell, people are going to be overheating and possibly dying. So you have to kind of strategically place these things. So what I think I'll do is maybe I can put it right on the outside here. Yeah, I'll put it on the outside. So this cell's going to be fairly warm, but we'll be able to get hot water to the I'm only going to need it in the shower here. Maybe I shouldn't put it there. What should I do? Where could I put it that's fairly convenient? I'm going to put it directly in the shower, although there's not too much time in the shower. I'm going to put it in there. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do is I'll put it on the water boiler like so. That way it's connected to power and it's connected to the water grid. And I'll do some hot water pipes there. And I'll run them on top of my regular water pipes. If I'm not mistaken, from my playthroughs before, that tends to help. What are the words I'm looking for? That tends to help the water flow happen more effectively. I can also put a pipe in. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Our sink up here also would like hot water, so I could put another one in. How much are you? $500. Could put another one in here. Maybe like here, and then I can run the water into both areas. It's gonna be here. This is gonna be a traffic highway. Maybe it's better suited like right here. Just above the kitchen. Sip of coffee. So yeah, I think I like that better, because this is going to be a highway as well, but they can kind of not have to walk right on top of this thing. So we'll put you here. We'll run hot water here, and eventually we can like connect up all these hot water grids and grid up the entire place like we do with the large piping. But since the hot water is just a small pipe, you can't go too crazy with it, especially at the beginning, because it's just expensive. You just don't have the money to do it. So we're getting our cells put together, getting the water action going. That's gonna give us cell block A done. Now let's look at our security procedure. Our office is finished. We should have our security guy finished. Yes, and he's also gonna need to unlock patrols. So we'll get started right on that, and we'll buy ourselves a chief. I wonder if this is going to put us into the negative cash flow. It is. So basically we have to get prisoners in now. And that's okay. So we'll say intake, not all available. Let's do fill capacity. And we'll start with minimum and medium. Like that. They'll be arriving in 13 hours. We'll probably get more than 3 because I think we'll end up finishing a few more of these cells, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And I'm actually gonna... Should I turn this? Should I not? Decisions. No, I'm not gonna turn this into reception yet. We'll keep it as a holding cell for now, because I want these people basically until I can get enough money to get my next cell block put in, which is, I mean, honestly, it's gonna take a minute because this is a fairly large cell block. So I can get enough money to get that cell block put in. I'm just going to keep this as a holding cell. And then once that cell block's in, and I can put in another small holding cell here. And I can start converting these into specific prisoner cells. We'll keep that like that, and then I'll put my reception in. Okay, looks good. We're going to speed everything up. We'll get our first intake, we'll meet our prisoners, then we'll call it a day here on Prison Architect. I believe this episode's probably gone on a little longer than I wanted to, but I do want to get prisoners in before we go. So we got 12 more hours to wait. And we'll test the waters here and see if there's any ways that they are going to be just running out and escaping. So I'll get a couple normals, a couple minimums. Our patrols will be done. I don't need any of that stuff really. We'll finish our grants and we'll start working on the next set of grants. Probably is going to be like prison maintenance. I could also do health psychology because I am working on health and well-being. But since I don't really have prisoners yet, I'm not like, I don't really care that much. As long as they're not getting too much in the way of like contraband snuck in, this is not gonna be a big deal. Oop. So let's keep things sped right up here. These cells are coming along nicely. And let's, while we're waiting, oh, what did I just, that was this 15 prisoners, sweet. So while we're waiting, we'll adjust the regime time. I'm just going to put everything to lock up for now. It's not going to stay this way, but I like to just start with a base lockup. Let's see, bedtime. We're going to have prisoners go to bed at 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of sleep should be good. So they'll wake up, they'll go to bed at 11, they'll wake up about 5. When they wake up, we're going to go immediately into eat. No. I'm going to go immediately into shower. So wake up, hit the hot shower, get actually woked up. I'm going to go from a hot shower to eat time. Yeah. That should work. Oh, I'm glad I'm looking at this thing. Small pipe, like so. So we'll say wake up at 5, shower, then you're gonna go have a hot for an hour. That should be enough time for everybody to get in and out. We'll keep an eye on that. For now, we'll do a couple hours a yard. We'll do some work lockup. 2, 3, 4 hours of work lockup. Let's say another eat around 1. We'll do like a lunchtime. No, that's not eat. Lunchtime eat. This isn't really much for them to do. We can just we just make them do whatever we want. Let's say work free time 3 hours. Let's do 1, 2, 3 hours of lockup, another eat, and then just regular old free time. 2, 3, 4. That's too much free time. Too much free time. So we'll say eat and then yard. No, we'll eat here. We'll do yard, and then an hour of lockup before sleep, just straight lockup. So there are a lot of lockup time here, but we will adjust regime. But for now, that's going to be the baseline. We'll make sure that they can move throughout the prison fairly well. If they run into, you know, they can't get certain places because it just takes too long for them to go, then we'll have to adjust. I'm going to door that off. These are going to be prison doors. Eventually, we can door that off. These doors are fine. They're not going to be staying in the holding cell too long. I am going to put a door in here, like a staff door, but not yet, for easy movement of my workers. But I don't want to put it in yet because it's outside the fence, and they will run. They will run and escape. So we'll do some capacitor action here. Doors are gonna go in. That's fine for now. I'm probably put a wall and a door here. Constrict that flow a little bit. And how about another toilet? What the hay? Alright. We'll get our guys in, meet the new prisoners. What's our chief doing? He finished that, so we can do patrol routes. Let's see, deployment, guard patrols. Oh, wow, this screen has changed. It is so bright white. Wow, it's like blinding. My God, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So, access only. People will try to avoid access only zones if possible for them to take away. Oh, this is new too. I'm really happy. The devs did such an awesome job on this game. They listened to the community at every step of the way. It really has been just awesome. Very, very awesome. Okay, so we got that stuff in. Should I make this? Yeah, I'm gonna make that staff only for now. No, I can't do that. Let's unlock that. I mean, share it. What am I doing? Okay, so we'll say guard patrols. We'll patrol like the outside bits here. So one guard patrol. We'll patrol from here to here. That's a patrol. And we'll patrol from here to here. That's a patrol. So that's our 3 patrols. Now we have to hire some more guards to finish that out. I don't know if I want to. Do I want to do that? We'll wait till the prisoners come in. I've got 5 guards. I'm not really going to need more than that as these guys are coming in. What's our grant say? Subblock B. I got my investments. Visitation. Well, I suppose I could do that. Oh no, I need a common room too. I don't really have a common room. I mean, I could make a common room and then get rid of it. Yeah, well, maybe we'll do that. I'll give it a thought. We'll give it a think. Prison maintenance. We could do that too. I don't know. We'll have a think about it, guys, because we could do like the short-term and long-term investments, get some more money, and just kind of play around. Or we could go with the big subblock B and just go for it. Oh, half hour. Here we go. Our first set of prisoners, and you will see all the doors are gonna go ahead and lock tight. Prisoner intake. Okay, so let's get our guards hired out here, and that'll finish off our grant. So we'll be able to take 2 grants in the next episode. So as these guys arrive, I'll hire the new ones so they can just grab them and frisk them up and run them into. Oops, I didn't mean to make it 6, but that's okay. Alright, let's see. Who have we here? Gareth McKenzie, age 47. Sentenced to 15 years for multiple crimes, including bribery and forgery. Has already served some time for other forgeries, stolen goods, perjury. He's a liar. Okay, I gotta keep an eye on him. Ed Venning, sentenced to 1 year for dangerous driving. He's got a big family. You shouldn't drive so dangerously, Ed. Also has served time before. Like, all he does is lie, apparently. And he pled not guilty to dangerous driving. Something tells me he's lying. Duncan Hughes, age 38. Sentenced to 13 years for multiple crimes, including manslaughter and perjury. We have a bunch of liars in our prison. So, he was busted for possession with intent, served his time, then apparently accidentally killed somebody, and then lied about it. A bunch of liars in here. We have Aston Howell, age 39. Sentenced to 20 years for aggravated burglary. Already served 6 years for regular burglary, so he's stepping up his game. We're going to have to reform him up. Matt Holtz, age 55. Well, you're an old guy. Sentenced to 2 years for driving under the influence. Has a long rap sheet as well. Possessions, dangerous driving. Warren Martin, age 49, sentenced to 6 years for false accounting. Look at this rap sheet. Possession, criminal burglary, indie video game piracy. Oh, you are a bad boy, Warren. That's no good. We have Felix Sadler, age 21, a youngin', sentenced to 6 years for false accounting. Okay. We'll make sure you don't reoffend. James the Agent Hudson, age 32. Agent Hudson is a CIA agent, or at least he used to be. He went on a murderous rampage and nearly killed the president, sentenced to jail. Sentenced to 13 years for multiple crimes, including handling stolen goods and perjury, and looks like he's going to solitary. Oh no, he's not. I lied. He's just going around. So we had more perjury, fraud, handling stolen goods, pled not guilty. Something tells me he's lying. Oh, and here comes our last few. We've got Andrew France, age 18, sentenced to 7 years for assault. Stephen Lee, a gang member, sentenced to 13 years for trafficking, also served for robbery. And Felix King, sentenced to 23 years for manslaughter. Yikes. And you're only 24, bud. You're going to be in here for a while. We have Stu Stimmers Stimson, age 62. After his wife and daughter were kidnapped, he took matters into his own hands. He went after the kidnappers and killed them all to protect his family. After turning himself in, he was charged with 37 counts of murder and 7 counts of gross bodily harm. Where have I seen that before? I feel like that's a movie. Okay, Stu, we're going to have to keep an eye on you. You got a rap sheet on you, too. Stephen Boyer, age 64, 13 years for trafficking. Matt McConaughey? Are you trying to be like a movie star? Since 8 years for death by dangerous driving. Also served for armed robbery prior. And is this our last? This is our last one of the 15 we have. Bartholomew Mr. Peanut Fitzgerald Smythe. The ever-dapper Mr. Peanut wore a top hat, ebony cane, and monocle. He was loved by all men, women, and children. His dream of being in the home and mouths of all was crushed by a great peanut allergy. Now turning his shell to a life of crime. Sentenced to 13 years for carjacking. I have a feeling we're going to see Mr. Peanut again. I don't think he's going to be a reformer. Something tells me. So, after they get brought in, around 8, they're going to be doing lots of work lockup. Since there's nowhere to work, they're going to be locked up. Let's see how eat time goes with these guys. I think they should be able to, yeah, they'll be able to make it in there fine. No problems. There's not even really, there's just one door they have to go through, so it shouldn't make a difference. And we've got, I can't see our logistics tab yet, but they should be good to go. Alright guys, we have now got 15 prisoners, a decent daily cash flow, that's good. This here is going to be the end of the episode. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Sorry for the length of time that this one took, but if you've made it this far, I hope you are enjoying Prison Architect. We're going to be doing a lot more expansion in the coming days. because we need a lot more expansion in the coming days. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get any more inmates yet. So we'll stick with these 15 for now. We'll do a little more build in, a little bit more expanding next episode. Once again, guys, thanks for hanging out. My name is Hamasa, and we will catch you next time.